earlier. All right. So, and in addition to that, when we have our class 2 weeks from now, which will be the full moon in Aries, but still in the sun sign of Libra, we're going to be discussing relationship dynamics. So that's when we'll start talking about all the love stuff and, you know, how y'all relationships is going and what's your love language. We're still going to touch on it briefly today because it is the conversation of Libra, but because this conversation this year for Libra ain't got nothing to do with love and relationships and more so about cutting ties and breaking up and all that kind of stuff. We're going to touch on as much of the retrograde stuff today. I want to spend time showing y'all exactly where these retrogrades exist in your chart. So that's why having your chart today is going to be really important, because when we go from aspect to aspect over each one of the retrogrades, I'm going to have you guys circle where this is in your chart for you to study later, and also for you to tell me today. So meaning, like, once you give me where you are in these particular retrogrades, I'm going to give you just an overview, a brief overview of what you need to do to study. Now, understand that you already have been going through this stuff. What I mean is these retrogrades have already been punching y'all left and right, okay? Us, all of us, left and right. So your purpose today is to learn why it's punching you left and right, and then to go and study so that you can start to use it, so you can start to incorporate it, okay? Now, we know that Libra is about balance, right? So understand there are going to be some days when you're on the left side of this thing and some days when you're on the right side. But the whole total part of it is learning how to tango. Learning how to, when stuff come on, not to be thrown off of your rocker. You know what I'm saying? So meditations is going to be important. You making sure that you are doing things like yoga, you know, stuff that gets you outside of what's going on and into the center of yourself, and spend more time in on that perspective is what's going to help us all get through this whole retrograde season. Because as y'all can see, we got 6 of them, 6 planets in retrograde. But Chiron is also in retrograde too. So, and North Node is also in retrograde too. So even though these things ain't planets, they still up, they add into the 6. So we just look at pretty much the whole entire doggone chart is retrograding and doing some type of stuff right now, right? But so are you. You are the same thing. You are going through a lot of change and transition. This is a huge transitional space for you, because 2023, y'all, ain't gonna be playing with you. And what I mean is, it's going to be about living a life of passion, living your gifts, living your dreams. Okay, so this period right now that you're going through is severing a lot of attachments, it's severing a lot of different things that y'all have been holding on to your entire lives. So consider this situation, the things that are coming up for you, the stuff that has been revealed to you has been the main factors that has been stopping you. Okay, so if that's imposter syndrome that's been coming up for you hard, that's been your main problem. Okay, if that's been your money, that's been your main problem. If that's been relationships or doing more for people than you do for yourself, that's the main problem. Okay, so we're gonna talk about those in grave detail. Again, I'm gonna go through the basics of Libra. Hold on, let me pull up my thing so I'm making sure I'm going over everything. All right, we're gonna go to the basics of Libra. We're gonna touch on your Venus sign as well as your 7th house energy, meaning like this is that love perspective that we're gonna touch on today. And then when we come back for class 2 weeks from now, we're gonna get even more in depth into your love languages and how to go about having a better relationship with yourself and also having a better relationship with other people. So I talked about the relationship agreement at the beginning of the year. We're gonna bring that relationship agreement back in, and we're gonna go into depth in with that when we have the next class. Today we're going to also talk about the new moon in Libra, you know, because we are in the fall equinox right now, right? So we're in this whole period of things getting ready to die off, and the leaves are turning colors, and it's starting to get cool, and some places it's already cold. But all of that energy is what's going on right now, okay? As well as what we're going to use, the bulk of this conversation is the 6 planets in retrograde plus Chiron plus the North Node, and how to find these aspects in your chart and how to use this retrograde properly, okay? So let's get into it. So starting off with the basics of Libra, all right? Share my screen. All right. So here we are. How many Libras we got in the room? Any sun sign Libras?
Me.
me's? Where's all the me's? Right? I want to see the hands raised. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you are a sun sign Libra.
I don't know if y'all can see me.
Okay.
Me. Denisha.
Denisha is one. Who was the other me?
Javicia.
All right. So we got 2 Libras in here. Great. All right. So anytime we're talking about Libra, okay, Libra has everything to do with the balance of ourselves. All right. Libra comes in to show us how we relate to other people, meaning that the first 6 houses, the first 6 placements in our astrology chart is all about the I or the self. But when we land into Libra season, that changes. Libra season is the first season that kicks us off where our life is not just about us now, it's about how we now relate to other people. Okay, so all the Libras in the room, your responsibility is teaching us relationship habits. Okay, and when I mean relationship habits, I'm not just talking about your love relationship. I'm talking about every person that you have in your life, you are having a relationship with them. Okay, so that means all of us, even though we're not sun sign Libras, we all have that placement. We all have to learn how to relate to other people. So when Libra season comes in, it becomes that energy. That's why the symbol of it is the scales. Okay, the dates start sometime September 22nd, 23rd to October 21st, 22nd, depending on the leap year, how things switch. The ruler of Libra is Venus. Okay, Venus rules 2 signs, Taurus first, Libra second. Okay, when we're dealing with Libra, we're dealing with Venus on the Taurus perspective, we're talking about what we have, we're talking about our values, we're talking about foundation, we're talking about those things. But when we step into the Venus perspective, when we're talking about the Libra dynamic, now we're talking about love, and we're talking about relationships, and we're talking about beauty, and we're talking about, you know, going to art museums and how the creativity actually exists between those 2 dynamics, how we relate to the world and how we show up with that. Okay. Now, Venus rules the 7th house, which is what we're going to talk about next when we talk about your Venus energy or your relationship dynamic. That's all 7th house stuff. Libra is the ruler of that. Okay. The mode of Libra is cardinal energy. The element of Libra is air. It's an air sign. Okay. The polarity of it has everything to do with yang. Okay, it's the positive male energy, or, you know, that masculine dynamic. It can come off as that, even though it's Venus, you know. So that's why I say, when we're talking about Venus on the Taurus side, it's the feminine side of it. But when we're talking about Venus on the Libra side, we're talking about the masculine side. Each energy has both a masculine and a feminine side, or it has a plus and a negative, or a light and a dark. You're never gonna get away from that. Okay, no matter what we're talking about. The season that it deals with is mid-autumn or the fall, or what we're in right now. The day of the week is Friday, and the number is 6. Okay, so some of the energies that you guys can kind of take on, especially for my Libra dynamics, you know, you want to wear your poppers. Hold on. Let me mute some folks.
Come sit right here.
All right, let's see. Hey, Pearl.
Hi, Gigi.
How you doing?
I am great. How are you?
Good.
I'm excited to be in your energy.
Listen, I'm excited
Tonight.
that you're here. I'm excited. Yeah, my dear. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, I see you now. All right. Okay, so the colors that I want you guys to wear, regardless of whether you Libras or not, because we want to, every month, what I want you guys to understand is that we're every sign in the zodiac. And because we are every sign in the zodiac, when we start to switch into these dynamics, you should be jumping into these dynamics. Now, you Libras, y'all stay put, okay? Stay where you at. But everybody else, we should be jumping into our Libra cloak. What does that mean? Wearing more colors and wearing more scents, wearing more things that represent the Libra energy. What is that? Metals, which is copper, okay? Your colors, pale blues, wear some pinks, wear some dark crimson, wear some ambers, some yellows. When you think about Libra, think about the pastels. If you think about the pastels, you'll be in the arena when it comes down to the colors and stuff that goes along with the Libra. Foods, strawberries, fruits, a lot more wheat or a lot more fibrous foods, artichokes, asparagus, all that kind of stuff, okay? The lights of Libra, peace and harmony, pleasing. We're going to talk about that over pleasing dynamic that Libras have, because it definitely has that in there, as well as some of the dislikes are just the arguments or the going back and forth. The keywords that go along with Libra are relationships. Okay, again, relationships of all kinds, not just love relationships, all of them. So this includes co-workers, okay, or co-working types of relationships. As you guys are coming in, if y'all can just mute yourselves a little bit for me, and then I'm gonna get y'all to open back up when we get back in. Okay. All right. So anytime we're talking about the dynamics of the Libra energy, understand that, again, Libra does have another side to it. That side is people pleasing, okay, or doing too much. So if you look at yourself, and we just talk about a little bit about the relationship dynamics, one of the questions I want you to ask yourself when it comes down to relationships, right? Do you think you please others to appease yourself, or do you feel like you're pleasing others because you don't like confrontation? What would be your answer? In the chat. Don't like confrontation. Okay. Give me some more answers. Never like confrontation. Want to be accepted. Okay. Come on. Both. Okay. For yourself. Okay, Erica. Erica, tell me what your sun sign is again. Put yourself right. Come on, Pearl. Yes. Sagittarius, of course. Okay, come on. Who else? Give me some more answers. Doing for yourself. Okay. All right. No matter what your answer is, it's still true when it comes down to the Libra dynamic. Okay. The Libra dynamic is go back and forth. Okay. Sometimes it does it because it want to please everybody else. Sometimes you do it because you want to please yourself. Sometimes it do it because it just don't know what else to do. Okay. That can be an issue. Understand one of the main issues that we deal with in the Libra dynamic is doing too much for the relationships, doing it like Drea said, doing it for acceptance, you know what I'm saying, or doing it because you don't necessarily like confrontation until it becomes too much. Where you have Libra in your chart is where you do too much for people until you blow up, all right? Because that's what happens. You can ask any Libra in this room, okay? Ask them what their MO is using when it comes down to dealing with other people. And usually that is, they'll keep giving and giving and giving and give, because you know, it's a relationship. I want to do that. They give and give and give. And then when they realize they're not going to get that in return, then it's like, boom, blow up. And then people be like, wait a minute, why are you blowing up? I thought that was something that you like to do. And then the Libra comes and say, well, no, I was doing it because I want you to do for me what I did for you. But they have a hard time communicating that. Okay, so understand that in your Libra dynamic, sometimes you have a hard time communicating your needs. And because you have a hard time communicating your needs, exactly, reciprocity, because you have a hard time communicating your needs, you tend to give way too much to the relationship. And then when you give too much to the relationship and it doesn't go the ways in which you think it's supposed to go, now you want to say something. Okay, so one of the things I want you guys to be thinking about as we move forward in this conversation today, and as we check in for our next class, is when it comes down, right, to you doing too much. Part of that is because you don't know how to communicate your want, needs, and desires. So part of your homework is I'm going to send everybody a relationship agreement. You have to do this relationship agreement and turn it in before our next class. That's going to help you to learn how to stop being such a people pleaser. Because if you know what your wants, needs, and desires in a relationship and you can communicate them up front, then people can tell you whether or not that's something they're willing to give you. And if they're not willing to give it to you, then why are you doing all of this? What are you doing it for? Hoping, what I call that, you know, hoping that one day they'll see it, or one day they'll be like, oh, they're doing all this for me. So since they're doing all this for me, no, that's not how that works. Okay, when you tend to give more to other people than you give to yourself, what you're teaching them is you don't need anything, right? The reason why you're teaching them that is because obviously if you got so much to give away, you can't need anything. But if you move in a different perspective, which is to say, well, hey, no, I don't mind doing that for you, but I also want you to do this in reciprocal. I would love for you to reciprocate this for me. I would love for you to give me this as a return, right? If you don't say nothing, you can't be mad if you don't get it, okay? That's the number one thing I want you to learn about your Libra dynamic. If you can't, come on, Marla.
I was gonna type this, but it's too much to type because as you was talking, I was like, damn. But what if you're great at communicating your wants, needs, and desires, and you ask for reciprocity, and the people say, I got you, but then they don't got you.
Okay.
Or they see that what you have going on is too much that they think they didn't realize that you did so much or you do so much.
So what that means is most people who do that, right? I say that you're listening to what people say and not to what people do. All right. A lot of people will tell you what they do. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't mind doing it. Okay. Well, show me. But this that you already doing it. So you tell me that this where you've done this before. Sometimes we move on people's words and we don't move on based on their actions. So this is gonna be one of those things this month where y'all gonna have to really sit there. You're gonna have to wait and see the action. If there's no action, then there's nothing that you got to give. You hear what I'm saying? So sometimes we wanna again have that hope that they're going to do it. Because just because they say it and you believe them, that's still a hope that they're going to do it. That's not the proof. The proof is already in their actions. You can see it based on the other relationships they have. How many times y'all done got into no matter what type of relationship it is, it could be a friendship or whatever. You've gotten into a friendship with a person, right? And they tell you, oh, I'm the type of person, I ain't messy. I don't go around talking about nobody. But then 2 days later, they get into it with somebody and they telling everything that happened. Well, then you just got your evidence. Your evidence is even though they told you that they're not a person that does that, their actions don't show you that. So wait to find out people's actions before you decide to give them everything. Kelly, I'm telling all our business, baby. It's all our business today, okay? So you have to understand, and what this does is it's not just teaching people that you come in contact with how to treat you. You're starting to live in the vibration of how people are going to treat you. Understand that even before people show up, you are like Kamisha say, you have a scent on you already. So if your scent is giving all of your time and your energy away, it don't matter what people tell you because you're still going to give all your time and your attention away. Why? Because you are a people pleaser. Again, our Libra energy shows us that when you have that Libra and the weakness of that, you people pleasing because also Libra love to have people around. They love that. They love to do things with people. They are the number one. If they want to go somewhere, they calling somebody. Let me call and see who I can take with me. Okay. Why? Because that's the dynamic that we're learning. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just you understanding that when you step into that dynamic of relating to other people, you have to make sure that you're saying what you need. Okay. Y'all got it? Now, as we're going to move into the Venus, on the chat, let me know what your Venus sign is and what you have in the 7th house. Okay. So Venus sign, 7th house dynamics. All right, Venus in Sag. Venus in Aries, perfect. Venus in Libra, okay. You over there Libra down, ain't you, Denisha? All right, Venus in Aquarius, Venus in Taurus, Gemini in the 7th, okay. All right, so Venus in Aries, okay. I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna run through them quickly. Venus in Aries people, you love quick and hard, okay? You also fall out of love quick and hard just as fast as you jumped in it, okay? If you got Aries in the 7th house, if you got that Venus and Aries in the 7th, it also means when it comes down to the love and relationship dynamics, you want somebody who is fun, or you want a relationship full of fun, full of spontaneity. You know, you want to be able to, do things or have a partner that's going to do things with you or whatever, but you're not removed of doing things by yourself, but you love to have that partner that can, it's almost like your best friend, okay? Aries in the 7th house, you want a best friend, all right? It's somebody that you can not only love, but somebody you can have great conversation with, and y'all can, again, have fun and do stuff together. It's like two kids in love running all over town, all right? Venus and Taurus. Venus and Taurus people are going to do whatever they can for their partnership, all right? They gonna stick it in no matter what's going on or whatever. They're the one that's going to be more stable in that relationship dynamic of how they show up and give their energy. They're going to be more stable in that dynamic, especially when it is in the 7th house. So meaning that even if they have a partner that might cheat, they'll work through it. Okay. They'll be more willing to work through that dynamic than anybody. Why? Because, you know, it understands. It's like, wait a minute, we're supposed to work this out. I'm not supposed to just jump ship. Whereas that Venus in Aries is gone, baby. Like, look, I done told you 3 or 4 times that we're not doing this. And you still, oh, well, I'm gone then. Okay. But not the Venus in Taurus. All right. Venus in Gemini. Venus in Gemini is one of the first aspects that I tell people, if you got any type of air Venus, you show signs and qualities of having multiple partnerships. Don't mean that you're going to be a poly person. You can choose not to be, but you are still going to have people that you talk to. So meaning that Venus and Gemini person will be in a marriage, in a relationship, but they'll still have maybe partners that they talk to, or they'll have a work husband or a work wife, that kind of stuff. Okay. When it comes down to the 7th house dynamics, Venus and Gemini in the 7th, same way. Again, this is one of those classic things where you need to make sure that your partnership is one that has some air to it or has some separation to it. Venus and Gemini in the 7th house could also have a long distance relationship. They're okay with that. Why? Because they need a lot of movement. They need a lot of like energy and stuff that's going on with them. Okay. When we move into Venus in Cancer is the love bug. Okay. They just love and love it however it shows up. Okay. They feel love before it comes in. All right. And the ways in which they do show up for that love dynamic is sometimes it's financial. I mean, they don't mind splurging and spending money on their partners and doing all that kind of stuff. Venus in Cancer in the 7th house speaks of a relationship that is nurturing, meaning that you can tend to be more the nurturer in the relationship, or your partner may even see you as, you know, mothering. They may even say, you know, you remind me of my mama. You remind me of, you know, some parental energy. Somebody got kicked out. You remind me of some parental energy because it's a very nurturing dynamic when it comes down to it. Okay. Venus in Leo. Somebody trying to say something to me? Somebody trying to say something? Oh, no, that's okay. I got you. I'll say you come back in. All right. Venus in Leo energy. Venus in Leo energy is kinky, okay? Meaning that it loves to show up. It's another placement that will do things for you, like to have fun and create and do things that are creative, but it's also one of them dynamics that want to really experience some kinky stuff. So I always say Venus in Leo people should go to, you know, do some kink parties or go learn some kinky stuff, okay? Because it definitely it improves the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's in the 7th house, because when it becomes in the 7th house dynamic, it don't mind being a homebody, but it really wants to experience some things. Okay. When we go into Venus into where we at? Virgo. Venus and Virgo energy has a lot to do with, sometimes can be judgmental, can talk about a judgmental partner, you know what I'm saying? But it just wants perfection. All right. So meaning it wants the luxury, it wants the energy, the ways in which it wants it. It doesn't mind working it out, meaning that it's going to work for the things that it needs to work for when it comes down to the relationship dynamic, but they can tend to be judgmental. And when a Venus in Virgo person, after they done work through all the dynamics of trying to stay, if it just doesn't work, once they're done with it. You know what I'm saying? But they're definitely going to try to work out. Venus in Virgo people too also like small gestures. They don't care about the grandiose things. Don't get me wrong, you can buy them a bag, they'll take the bag, but they much rather you really pay more attention to the small things that make them light up. You know what I'm saying? If you notice they like flowers, you're bringing them fresh flowers. Those are the kind of things that really makes a Venus in Virgo person really light up. If it's in the 7th house dynamic, same energy, okay, which is they gonna try to work through the relationship as much as they can. They can tend to have some booze on the side sometimes because Virgo, no matter where it is freaky, okay? It likes sex and a lot of it, okay? So definitely speak to a relationship that's going to have a lot of sex, but small gestures are the things that make that Venus in Virgo in the 7th house pop, okay? Venus in Libra. It's at home, okay? It is love central, meaning like it wants to do everything for the partner. It wants to show up for the partner. Sometimes the detriment of itself is like everything is about my boo, everything about my man, everything about my girlfriend. It's like everything's for the relationship, okay? And when you have that placement in the 7th house, again, it's just a link up, okay? Meaning that it can be balanced. Sometimes it can tend to be out of balance when you tend to do too much for your partner and not enough for yourself, not really expressing your relationship dynamics, what you want, what you need and desire, as well as some of the things that you really have gone through in your childhood, okay? Because those things can be carried over into that Venus Libra dynamic, and it can tend to throw things off. When we move into Venus and Scorpio, that's very spicy, very hot. Another placement that wants to do a lot for the partnership. Venus and Scorpio sometimes have an issue with boundaries, meaning that sometimes they can get into relationships that tend to press their boundaries. So learning how to have very good boundaries in your relationships, no matter what relationships they are going to be the best for a Venus in Scorpio dynamic, especially if it's in the 7th house, because it can also start to talk about like some turbulence, things that can kind of cause problems in the relationship if you do not express your boundaries and make sure you uphold those things. Self-care is the best thing a Venus in Scorpio can do in order to keep them balanced inside of their relationship. Be real mindful of, again, taking things that you don't want to take on. Be mindful of saying yes when you know your energy is really no, okay? Because again, it can start to breed some energy in that placement of being too much, or, you know what I'm saying, having triggers and all that kind of stuff. We move into Venus and Sag. Venus and Sag energy is one of my personal favorites. I feel like Sag, when it shows up, can be one of those dynamics, especially in relationships, that just gets what it wants. All right. So Venus and Sag is one of those placements. So meaning that even though the ways in which it show up sometimes, it could be like, maybe I'll get married 3 or 4 and 5, 6 times. But it's gonna get what it wants, okay? So it's also one of those things that could be very judgmental, meaning like it loves what it loves, how it loves, and it shows up in all ways, especially in relationship dynamics. But if that Venus and Sag is not being fed the way it needs to be fed, because it's going to give everything to the relationship, it will divorce you. It will break up with you and get another one like a week or 2 weeks later. It's not going to wait, okay? Because it's going to make sure, again, that it is being taken care of. Venus in Capricorn continue to be one of those placements too. It's like either they're in a really good relationship that is a balance of like estate and finances and support, or it's like I'm the boss and I may have a hard time with relating, okay? So it can be either or, just depending on the family dynamic. So if it's a Capricorn energy person or a person that has a lot of Capricorn in the chart and they're not used to having seeing a relationship dynamic, meaning their parents broke up or something like that, it can struggle with choosing, because the Capricorn is going to make the money. Even the Venus in Cap is going to make the money. But when it comes down to it, it needs to make sure that, you know, this is really love, or this is really better than what it experienced in the childhood. Venus in Aquarius, that's mine. Law, it's all over the place. Okay. So any Venus in Aquarius, I'm giving you hugs because we just got it. Okay. Meaning that we are all over the place. That's another placement. Okay. That tends to, you know, have energy as it relates to being a poly person or a person that has multiple partners. It's just non-conventional. Okay. So it don't want tradition. So when it loves, it needs to be loved in a certain type of way. It needs to be loved with understanding. Okay. Especially when it's in the 7th house, like mine is in the 7th. I got Venus in Aquarius in the 7th house. And when it's in that dynamic, now we're talking about, again, a non-traditional type of relationship. It can definitely be in an open marriage. It can definitely be Will and Jada, okay, or whatever we call that, okay, the situationships, all right, because it needs freedom. And because it needs freedom, sometimes it can tend to press those boundaries of, you know, what is monogamy? What is traditionalism? It doesn't really want that, okay? It wants something that is outside of the box, futuristic, right? These are all keywords that go along with the Aquarius dynamics, all right? Now, last placement, Venus in Pisces. Venus in Pisces is the old man, old woman in love, all right? So it could be one of 2 ways. It could be in a relationship that it's been in for a very long time. And if it's not in a relationship, you know, or whatever, it's also dreaming about a person that they may have had a relationship with in high school and they always wanted to be with them and they've been waiting on the opportunity. It's just very old love, okay? And it has a lot of traditions to it. So it definitely wants the tradition. It wants the marriage. It wants the picket fence and the house and the 2 dogs and the babies and the grandbabies. It wants all of that, okay? When you move that dynamic into the 7th house, it also speaks of a person, you know, no matter what your age is, if you have Pisces in that 7 dynamic, you are going to be more prone to older people, okay? So you can be 25, but if you got Pisces in the 7, You don't mind dating somebody 50, okay? Because in your head, they more stable. They're more tradition. They got all the things that you want. Of course they do, because you Pisces. You old in that particular placement, all right? So these are just overviews of things when we're talking about the Venus dynamic and the 7th house dynamic that I want y'all to be thinking about. And when you do your relationship agreements based on those aspects of where your Venus is and in the 7th house, is going to start to help you to formulate a different way of communicating in your relationships so that y'all can stop giving too much. For those of you that are, okay? For those of you that are not giving at all, it's going to help you with that too. Because the only reason why you ain't giving nothing at all is because you came from a place of giving people everything and you're tired of that. And because you're tired of it or whatever, you're just not giving anything at all. And it's got to be a balance, okay? Libra is about this. Understand, when y'all look at that scale, it's one side up and one side down. Okay, that's because it's always teeter-tottering. It's always going back and forth. All right. All right. Now moving into our next thing, which is all right, new moon in Libra. Okay, so I'm going to pull up just the chart for today so y'all can kind of see it. All right. All right. So we look at, this is the actual chart for today. These are all the placements. This is how they sit today. All right. So we start to look at what is the conversation of the moon, the new moon energy in the fall equinox. We have to look at the big picture. Okay. So even though we know we're going to go in and talk about these retrogrades in detail and break them down, right now it's about what is this new moon saying? Okay. So if y'all can give me one word on how y'all feel today in this new moon, in this equinox energy, one word. Peaceful, discombobulated, okay, regenerated, honest, okay. Those are good words. Give me some more. Restarting, okay. All right, more. Renewed, okay. Clarity, clear, abundance. All right, anxious, okay, all of those are good. These are all good things. Okay, confident, okay. New beginnings, yes. Excitement, okay. You should feel a little, maybe even a little worried, okay. A little confused by the state of the world, right? What's going on? What's happening? What are we dealing with as a whole right now, right? All of these words are exactly what y'all see in the chart. Okay, that's why I asked y'all. Every word you say is what's going on today. Okay, we are feeling everything, literally. If you wanted to know what a day and time feels like, to feel every feeling, every emotion, to feel safe and scared, to feel light and dark, to feel, horny, okay? All of that is in this energy for today, okay? Why? Because we are literally going through an overhaul, okay? An overhaul of every aspect that you got in your chart. Everything is getting a washing, okay? It's getting a washing because you're finally in a space where you have the time and the opportunity to go a little bit deeper into yourself. So we look at the sun perspective, right? The sun and the moon are directly in Libra, but look at them, they're both at 2 degrees, right? So we're at the beginning. So when y'all say restart, newness, there you go. There's the evidence that you said renewed, you're dead on point, because that's what this new moon is about, okay? It's about starting over from scratch, okay? Now, this don't mean that you have to throw away the baby with the bathwater. This just means all the areas that you have been afraid to do something new, you got the permission. Now is the permission to do something new. You have, and I understand we're in a retrograde point, but understand this, y'all. Just because we have a retrograde don't mean that you can't do things that you already have been dreaming about, that you've already put the work in. When we talk about don't do nothing during retrograde, we talk about those new ideas. Sometimes they pop up in the middle of retrograde, like, "Ooh, I'm gonna sell my car." No, you're not. Sit down. You're not selling the car. Okay. "Ooh, I'm gonna sell my house." "Ooh, I'm gonna." No, you're not doing any of that. But if you in January told yourself that you was gonna start a business by June, and here we are in September, October, you can go ahead and do that during retrograde. The reason why you can do it is because you've already been working on it. This right here is just to help you to work out the details. Sometimes you can use retrograde to fine tune things. So if you want to know what the reason why things are like this all over the place, because y'all need to fine tune things. You've been running from yourself. So why not use the retrograde to mess up a little bit? Make it a little messy, make it a little dirty, right? So that when you come out of this retrograde period, and I'm just gonna get ready to show y'all how vast this retrograde period is. When you come out of this thing, you should know exactly what it is that you're doing. You shouldn't have no questions this time, none whatsoever. But if you are sitting in the corner, crying, not making no moves whatsoever, you're gonna miss this opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't let the fear, don't let the energy, the anxiousness, the discombobulated energy, the being all over the place keep you from your goals and your passions, because what you're telling the universe is the moment something gets out of whack, you're going to give up. You're not going to be able to show up in this. So when I show y'all how wide this thing is, if you can't move in this energy right here, y'all, you're not going to be able to move for a while, because ain't no letting up. It's only going to get more and more intense. Okay. And when I mean more and more intense, I'm talking about as far as you getting the yeses that you need. Okay. You getting the finances that you need. You getting everything that you need. But the pressure on the outside energy is still going to be there. There's still going to be a lot of chaos. But where are you in the midst of the chaos? Are you balanced? Are you learning how to do this? Are you learning how to Libra during the chaos? Because the new moon is asking you to learn how to be able to balance all of this, not run from it. So what can you do to balance it? What is the first thing you can do in a new moon energy to balance all this energy, all this retrograde? Y'all look at this. You got Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, North Node, the median North Node. You also got Lilith and Chiron. All of this is retrograding. So when y'all gonna move then? If you ain't gonna, if you want to wait until it all blows over, right? Because that's what a lot of folks, I'm gonna just wait till it blow over. Well, when is that? When is this gonna ever blow over? It ain't blowing over. It's a part of your life. It's a part of the incorporation that you're going to need in order to move forward. Okay. So know that the Mercury retrograde energy is going to end. Let me pull up our other little chart. I'm gonna have to stop this for a second. I'll come back to it. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. Y'all, I want y'all to look at this, okay? Because this right here, and I'm gonna send all this to y'all. I'm sure y'all probably saw this floating around social media. If you haven't seen this floating around, you need to save this, okay? Because this right here is gonna be your blueprint of what you're going to be working on, okay? From now until next year, okay? You got a lot of work on, a lot of things to work on, details to work on, all right? So we just start off with the very first one that hit us, right? Pluto retrograde. The end of April, we had a eclipse, right? We had an eclipse season that hit us at the end of April. The Pluto retrograde was partly responsible for that eclipse energy, right? What you are witnessing right now is the back door to that Pluto and Capricorn energy. What is Capricorn? What does Capricorn do? What is the planet that rules Capricorn? Quickly, somebody answer me.
Saturn.
Yes. What is Saturn responsible for?
Structures.
Come on, give me something else. What else? What is it responsible for? Come on, y'all been with me too long. Y'all know what this is. What else is Saturn responsible for? Time. Okay, father time. It's also your legacy. Okay, everything that's in Capricorn has to deal with what you did not have when you was a child. So now you want to make sure you have that. But in order for you to do that, you have to be diligent on your time. You have to know what you're doing with your money. Capricorn is also the bank. Okay, why y'all think you file your taxes in Capricorn season? Because Capricorn is the accounts. So we're talking about now Pluto, which Pluto has everything to do with death and transformation, right? It's the regenerator when it comes down to your life. And now we're talking about the regenerator in dealing with Capricorn. What's happening? What are we being asked to do? You're being asked to regenerate your time, regenerate what you're doing with yourselves, your money, your structure, all of this you've been asked. But why are you being asked to do that? Because your responsibility, you living your life, the ways in which you said you want to do it, your dreams and your passion, all of that is determined on how you use this Pluto and Capricorn retrograde. So everything, if you go back into yourself and think about where you were in April of this year, okay? Where were you coming out of April into May of this year? What was going on? What happened? Because whatever happened was giving you a preview of the areas in which you have to work on, so that by the time we got to this point right now, it should have been a little bit easier. Okay, if it's not a little bit easy, if your change and your transition is feeling like real hard, it's because you've been ignoring it since April. Period, point blank. You've been ignoring where you needed to change since April. So now it's all piled up on you now. Now it's all coming down. Now all your shadow, look at what it says, accepting the shadow and embracing who you really are. So your shadows now have come out to haunt you, right? Not really haunt, but you know, it's about to be Halloween season. So let's use the vibration. It's coming out to haunt you. In other words, it's saying, hey, listen, look at what you got going on, baby, and really transform that thing. Okay? Because a lot of things that you're doing has a lot to do with based on where you came from your childhood. What part of the legacy, what part of your childhood do you feel like you didn't get? Okay? Was your mama or your daddy not there? Did you feel like you didn't get enough support somewhere? Do you feel like you had a mean mama or a mean daddy? Do you feel like when it comes down to finances, you didn't have no money, that your parents didn't have the money? So now you feel like you got to get the bag because they didn't. Why? Did you not have everything that you needed when you was a child? Because whatever your shadows were when you was in your childhood state dealing with this energy is coming out now. It's your childhood energy, okay? Now, this energy of Pluto retrograde is going to carry you from now until October 8th. Understand that everything has a pre-phase, a current phase, and a shadow phase, right? Because it has a shadow phase, understand that after the 10th is when you're getting ready to hit the shadow phase, okay? So meaning the blunt of the energy of the pressure, because Pluto is pressure. Pluto is change or else. I like to call it the big bully of the zodiac, because even though it's the smallest, what they want to call a dwarf planet, it don't act like that in energy. In energy, it don't act like it's small at all. It comes through and beat on everybody, okay? So because that's the energy of it, know that after the 8th, you're still going to be dealing with your shadow self. So go ahead and face it, okay? Go ahead and face who you are in your shadows. Spend some time doing mirror magic. Every morning, you should be doing some mirror magic to yourself. And when I mean to yourself, talk to that little girl or talk to that little boy that's in there like, hey, listen, I understand that we didn't have these things. But right now, what we're working on healing that, okay? So let the anger go. Wherever you have the anger, the irritation around your childhood, your family members, your parents, or whatever the case may be, time to let that go. Not to dismiss them from what they did, but because it's holding you hostage. You're living in the shadows because of this. Okay? That's why you're forgiving. That's why you're letting it go. Every time I bring up forgiveness, I get so many people in my DM, my inbox. I don't appreciate you telling me to forgive. I don't have to forgive. You don't have to forgive them. You have to forgive yourself for being so attached to the outcome. Forgiveness is for you. It ain't for the people who did things to you. They still have to live that karma. They don't get a bypass because you say, I forgive that energy. They don't get that bypass. They still have to meet their maker. They still have to meet karma, okay? They still have to meet Saturn, because Saturn is also the Lord of karma. So they still have to deal with that, okay? Regardless. Now, right after that, we had Saturn in Aquarius came in, okay? That retrograde started June 4th. When that retrograde came in and that Aquarius energy, now we just said what Saturn was to Capricorn, right? We already called out all the energy of what Saturn and Capricorn is. So now we got a double up, right? We already got the Pluto and Capricorn working in the dynamics of all the legacy and the structure and all the stuff. And then Saturn came and say, oh, you over here changing and transforming? Oh, okay. But what about the structure of it? Are you just doing it whenever you feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's becoming a problem for you? Or do you have consistency with it? Where's the consistency in your plans? Where's the consistency in your future, right? What are the key words to Aquarius? Innovative, forward thinking, future, the social circle, the philanthropist, right? The person who comes in the room and say, hey, we got some conversations that we need to have. It's also dealing with friendships. Uh-oh, here we go. So you've been getting the call to let some of them friends go because they ain't been meeting your structure since June. But some of y'all been hanging on to them, right? And then what happens? This whole month, that whole September, it brought the truth out about your friends. It brought the truth out about them social circles. It also brought the truth out about how disciplined and how structured that you have been as it relates to these people, as it relates to this group. Okay? So now you have to learn how to integrate your new lessons. What have you found out about yourself as it relates to this energy? From June until now, what's been showing up, right? You got until the October 22nd is when this energy is going to start shifting out of retrograde. So right now, you should be looking at all the places where you see obvious. Stop telling yourself that the energy that you feel about people ain't real. It's real. You've done enough work to trust yourself, right? If you trust yourself, why you don't believe yourself when the spirit tell you that it's time for you to move past that? That you like what's the that sound? You think it's small. You need to be thinking big, bitch. That sound right there. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of y'all are holding on to these people because they hold you in a space of you playing small. They play small, you play small. That's why y'all been friends so long. But then when you decide to jump up, right, or do something better for yourself, you start to realize, wait a minute, hold on. I can't take everybody with me. No, you can't. So a lot of the relationships you dragging into the rest of your life, that's why you having a hard time. That's why your money ain't showing up. That's why some of the moves and some of the opportunities you want ain't showing up because you're holding on to people. You're trying to take them to the next level and they can't go. So they're going to drag you. You're going to hold yourself back. Okay, so integrating these new lessons is a part of what this whole Saturn and Aquarius energy is teaching you. So wherever you have now Capricorn and Aquarius, you are definitely dealing with these two retrogrades. Okay, so that means your Pluto and Capricorn is dealing with your Capricorn placements. The Saturn and Aquarius is dealing with your Aquarius placements. Now, before you tell me, oh, Gigi, I ain't got no Capricorn, I ain't got no Aquarius in my chart. That's not true, right? You know why it ain't true? Because what does Capricorn rule? 10th house, right? What else does Capricorn deal with? Saturn. Yes, so if you don't have Capricorn in your chart, you for sure got a 10th house. So that means that Pluto retrograde is now in your 10th house. If you say, oh, I don't have no Capricorn, I don't even have it, if that wherever that Pluto is where it's generating through your particular placements. Okay, 10th house or Saturn or Pluto itself. Okay, so you got work to do regardless of whether or not you have Capricorn in your chart. Same for Saturn. Okay, same for the Aquarius dynamic. You don't have no Aquarius in your chart. Aquarius rules the 11th house, right? Aquarius is also one of the energies that's ruled by Saturn too. Saturn also has a long conversation with Aquarius. Okay, so your Saturn placement or the 11th house or wherever Aquarius is in your chart, this is how Saturn is moving through. Okay, so circle these things out because we're gonna come to them in a minute. Moving into Neptune. Now, Neptune started talking to us realistically at the beginning in January. When we came in to this whole 2022, it was because this whole Pisces energy and how Jupiter and Pisces was like Pisces was talking large when we first moved into this placement, right? So now when you think about Neptune in Pisces, which is what Neptune is one of the rulers of Pisces, we're talking about your dreams. So when I said earlier, the reason why you gotta go through this retrograde state is because it's clearing up everything for your dreams for 2023. You gotta live in your dreams for 2023. Y'all gonna see and start to notice in your social circles or watching social media, you're gonna watch how many people say that they feel like they're drowning because they're not living their dreams. Okay, Pisces is water, Neptune is water. So when you start to, I just feel like I'm just drowning. Listen to the keywords. The keywords are the representation of the aspects. Okay, so the drowning reference, or I feel like I'm over, like things are over my head. That's another drowning reference. Okay, but what we're drowning in is us neglecting ourselves, because also where you have Pisces is where you neglect yourself and where you have escapism tendencies. Okay, so wherever your Neptune Pisces energy is, or wherever your Pisces energy is where you're running from yourself. So let's test this out. Where your Pisces at? Show me where your Pisces at.
7th house.
7th house, relationships. What you're running? Are you running from it? What's going on there, Kelly?
Oh, I'm in the thick of it's Kelly.
Okay. Was you the one that said Pisces is in the 7th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm in the thick of a partner who has just checked out, just like ghosted.
And how's that making you feel?
Oh, it's putting me in all of my personal insecurities.
Yes, exactly. Because that's exactly where you need to sit to work this thing out, so that moving forward, you can have your truest desires when it comes down to living in a relationship and having that. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that not doing that thing we was talking about earlier, because this is happening in Libra, right? So we can't dismiss the Libra conversation. So because it's happening in Libra, now we're talking about a person who's giving more to a relationship than they're receiving. Right? So if you just want to know the energy of why they checked out, probably because they wasn't matching you in the first place. They didn't have it to give. They can't match your level. So if they're not matching your level, now it's time to sit down and be like, why am I accepting people who are not on my level? Or why am I believing them when they say they're on my level and the evidence is not there? Right? You've been in this space before. We've been in this space before. Collectively, we've been in this space, not just in relationships, meaning like, again, a one-on-one, my love relationship, but period, across the board. We've been doing this, holding space for people who they are just not on the level because we believe that they can match that. No, they can't match it. So this is going to be the period that we're going to all learn to not do that anymore. Okay? Not hold space for that. Okay? Who else? Pisces in the 3rd. What is Pisces in the 3rd, Marcel? What are you doing as it relates to especially siblings? Okay, what are you doing especially when it comes down to the social people that you're around, the conversations that you're having when you're in the room, right? Are you bringing those things to topic, or are you just holding space for people? Or are you escaping the real conversations, right? Neptune is in Sag. I don't see any Pisces listed in my houses. Okay, you don't have no Pisces. But what is Pisces? What is Pisces ruled by? The Neptune energy, and Pisces also rules the 12th house. So what do you have in the 12th house, Drea? So she has Neptune in Sag. So Neptune, dream, Sagittarius, the teacher and the student and the traveler. Okay. So what is her retrograde conversation? What's your retrograde conversation, Drea? You don't know? If that's your dreams, Neptune is your dreams, Sagittarius, the teacher and the student and the traveler. What is your retrograde conversation? You're running from being you don't mind being the student, but you have a problem being the teacher. Okay. You're running from your gift of teaching. Okay. Not only you running from it, you're supposed to be traveling, learning so that you can come back and teach, so you can share the knowledge. Yes, imposter syndrome is exactly what it is. And it's going to damage your dreams. Where you have Pisces, Neptune energy retrograde, we're running from the purpose. We're running from who we are. We're running from the dream. Okay? We're running from it. And running from it looks like choosing things that's not on our level. Running from it looks like, oh, well, I went over here and it didn't work out. But you already knew it wasn't going to work out when you went over there. You did that to buy you time. Pisces, we want to run. Okay? The traveling, the making sure that you're showing up for yourself. Stop telling yourself that you don't have it. And even though you've been doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like the trip that you went to New York, just impromptu. Let me go and I'm going to learn. I'm going to be in this room where this art is, and I'm going to learn and submerge myself. And then when you come back and you share it in that form, we all live through it. That's what I'm talking about. You understand? Now I know I got more people than this than typing Neptune and Pisces. What's going on? Where we at? You block? Yes, you are blocking the money. You're blocking the money because you're blocking the dream. The dreams and the money is tied together. Okay. All right. Who else? Let's see. Pisces in the 6th. Neptune, Sag. Pisces in the 6th. That's the house of health. Okay. Neptune, Sagittarius, same thing, teacher and the student. So we combine these two together, is also imposter syndrome of not giving the things that you learn. You don't mind learning, but you don't want to share it. Okay, you don't want to share it because you got imposter syndrome. Pisces in the 6th, meaning that the energy that you don't share out is going to cause you body issues. It's going to cause you to have problems of digesting things. The reason why is because when we teach, it helps us to digest. Okay. You ever, if you want a baby to learn something, you don't keep talking to the baby. You ask the baby, teach me your ABCs. And the baby like, okay, say A, mama. Come on, mama, say A with me. It'll be A, B. The reason being is because that baby is now learning that way. Okay. You want to keep talking to somebody upside the head. That ain't how they learn. You have to regurgitate that. So if you want to get all the way into that thing, dealing with the Sagittarius, you got to learn and you have to share it. Okay. Who else? Let me see. Pisces in the 1st. Okay. So, Missy, you already know. I already told you what that is, right? People are going to come to you because they need your help. Period. Okay. You, the old woman, the old man, the wisdom is showing on you. So this is where you become the coach. You are the coach. You are the person that helps. You are the person that is, and not helping at the detriment of yourself though, right? Helping by showing them what you did for you. Okay. That's what makes the Pisces energy, because that's the one thing about grandmama. When you come over her house, she gonna feed you something, but it's something that she didn't already cook for herself. Baby, you want a little bit of this? You know what I'm saying? She's in self-preservation mode, but she's also still teaching you and training you at the same time. Them conversations that they're giving you, right? It's that whole thing and holding space and not being so attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Sharing it, coaching, teaching it, and not being attached. Okay? Lilith in Pisces. Skill documented. All right, Lilith in Pisces, and then your 8th house. All right, so Lilith in Pisces, we already know that's the wild woman, right? So now this is about you not being attached, okay? Pisces have a problem being attached. So somewhere about this, you attaching yourself, and it is in the 8th house, meaning that it will kill you. Your attachments will kill you, okay? They will be too much. You have to be free. Lilith is get off me. Let me go. Let me do. You know what I'm saying? And because it's in Pisces, this is about you taking care of yourself, the nurturing of yourself. So if you attach yourself too much, because that's what Pisces can tend to do, attach itself because it has imposter syndrome and is escaping from everything. When you tend to do that, it tends to affect the ways in which you change and transform. 8th house is changing. Okay, so your Neptune is saying, hey, or the whole Neptune Pisces energy is saying, hey, you need to transform and let this go so that you can come on and have a new life, a new transformation. Going through the whole transition of this is about your dreams. Letting go. Don't sabotage your own dreams by your attachments. Okay, get free. Pisces in the 10th. So when we talk about the 10th house now, we're talking about that energy again, dealing with who we are on the stage of life, who people want to see us as, or what is the word, what is the responsibility? What you got in the 10th is your responsibility. All right. Pisces in the 10th is you have a responsibility to the wisdom. Okay. Pisces is wisdom. Pisces is age. Pisces is the teacher, is the educator, but through self. Right. So we want to see what it is that you got. Your gifts and your talents is going to teach us what we need to do. We want to see that in you, see that through you. You are wisdom walking. We only learn when you show us this, but not at the detriment of yourself. Where we also have Pisces is where sometimes we will give it all away because we don't, that's too much responsibility for everybody to come to me. That's too much for me to have to try to teach everybody. You ain't got to teach everybody. You know what I'm saying? What you can do is show everybody through yourself. That's it. That's going to teach everybody. Come on, Pearl. Just launch your membership today. That's what I mean. It's about you, right? How you are literally showing this energy on the 10th house. The more you do that, again, the whole Neptune and Pisces thing is bringing us to the dreams now, though, because it's been talking to you since the beginning of the year. You got a question, Marlon?
Yeah, I have a question. I found the discrepancy actually on Astro Cafe. It says that my Lilith is in Pisces, and in the 6th house, and then on the ephemeris, it's Lilith and Aries in the 8th house.
Okay, so the second chart that you had, do you know whether or not it's calculated in tropical or what else is it calculating? Because there's many different calculations. Okay.
It says tropical Placidius.
Okay.
And then on Astro Cafe, it says.
And you said it's a difference between Aries and Pisces, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's saying that my Lilith is in Aries on the ephemeris, and then in Astro.
Yeah, the other one. Okay.
Cafe Astrology.
What's the degree?
Is in Pisces.
Give me the degrees.
Okay. The Lilith is 17 degrees Pisces on Cafe Astrology. And then in the ephemeris, it is 6 degrees Aries.
Okay, so it's got to be something based on calculation, because I don't necessarily know that other chart that you mentioned. You can send it to me and I can send me the link so I can see what their calculations is. But this is what I want you to understand. There is literally no difference between 17 degrees when you're calculating the Pisces part and the Aries part. So what I would do is function them in both places, right? So meaning what I just told Emily about the Lilith and Pisces part, run that too, right? But the Lilith and Aries is where you're progressing to. So meaning that chart may have a little bit of a progression to it, meaning how it moves as you move. And so that's just the next stage of it. So understand when we talk about Lilith and Aries, it's already wild, okay? That Lilith and Aries is going to be wild anyway. And you said it's in what house is it? 6th house?
And Aries is in the 8th house.
So both of them in the 8th house.
No, the Pisces is 6th house.
Okay, so 6th house Pisces perspective, and then 8th house for the Aries perspective. So what I just told Emily about her Lilith and Pisces in the 8th is the same conversation, but the only difference is instead of it being something that will kill you or cause this to be so much stress on your body because of the transformation, you move it into that Virgo dynamic, and now it's talking about affecting your digestive system. Okay, So now is how you're processing, how you're breaking things down. Sometimes when you hold yourself a hostage to people or attached to people, it can tend to break down your immune system. Okay, that's the Pisces part of it. When we move into the Aries part of it in the 8th house, now it can tend to affect your sex drive, your sexual energy. Okay, because again, Lilith is wild. So when she wild, she want to come with it. But when she is having an issue, right, she's drowning in this particular perspective in the 8th house. Now she can't move because everything is so it's like steam moving through pipes. So that doesn't make you excited. It makes you feel slow and sluggish, and it has a lot of goop too. It's like goop trying to move through something. Okay, so these are both. And if you look at how it's existing the same way. One is just digestive system. The other is moving through the sex drive, but it's still goop. It's still an issue. It's still you and how you're processing the freedom and the freeness of yourself. Okay, but definitely send me that other link over. All right.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. So Chiron, okay, because Chiron is this one right here is what's been hurting us the most. All right. Chiron in Aries is in retrograde until the end of the year. Don't even care about that December 22. Don't even think about that, because it's going to be longer than that. And what I mean longer than that, anytime Chiron is in retrograde and anytime Chiron is in retrograde in Aries, it's like pouting. It's like it's like that type of energy. Okay, but what it has everything to do with, Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay, so this is now, if we go back and think about the structure of Capricorn and talk about the Saturn in Aquarius and the dreams in Pisces, and now bring the Chiron and Aries into the fold. Now you're talking about somebody who's whining about something, or somebody who feels like they ain't ever been able to get the things that they want. You know what I'm saying? That's your Chiron return. Listen. So now you really know what's going on when it comes down to that Pisces perspective then, Kelly. Because if this is your Chiron return, that means this is the time of clearing. Okay? That's how, yes. That whole Chiron, listen, the wounded healer thing, y'all, has been one of my biggest placements that I had to adapt to. And what I mean is I can always tell when the Chiron energy is being messed with a little bit, because I get a little pouty. I get a little bit more needier than I normally am. Okay, why? Because the wounds, Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay, it's literally what it means. All right, and it's in retrograde in Aries. Okay, Aries is the baby. Okay, so when we talk about in the chart, it should be, if it's not, I don't know if you have your long chart or whatever, your big chart, it should be on your wheel. So if you pull your wheel up, you can do it. But it's also a calculator. You can literally just type, go to Google and type in Chiron chart, and there's a big chart that gives you a years, right? And the determining what the year is that you were born will give you what that Chiron placement is. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to go to your chart and find it. You can also just find it by just Googling. Okay, so wherever your actual Chiron energy is, right? Or and if you and y'all also should have time passages on your phone. Time passages will also give you your Chiron. Okay, Chiron and Gemini. Yes. So wherever your Chiron is where your wounds exist. Okay. So meaning, like, if you got Chiron and Aries, this is a lot to do with, again, wanting help or feel like you're supposed to have help. But Aries is not where you get help first. Aries is where you get help after you do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That if you build it, they will come energy. That's all the Aries. Okay, so you got to do it first. And then once you do it first, you get the help. So we just all put ourselves and tune ourselves into Chiron Aries retrograde. This is about you pouting about not getting the help that you think you're supposed to have, no matter whatever that is, whatever project, whatever relationship, whatever it is. It's about you whining, about you wanting help. So meaning the Chiron and Aries energy is like, look, y'all, we're going to do this. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. Da, 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 da. And they're like, okay. But then it don't get done. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Why y'all not helping me? And they're like, we don't even know what you're talking about. Because Aries has a vision that nobody understands until it's seen. I'll say it again. The Aries in you is the pioneer of the zodiac, okay? All the highways that you have used to be dirt roads, okay? How they go from dirt roads to interstates is Aries. Aries is the one that like, you know what? We should chop this right here and go through here and go around and create a loop-de-loop, and now we can be able to get there faster. And no matter how many times you say it, people are like, okay, cool, that sounds good, but can you show me what you're talking about? Okay, so where you have Aries is where you have to show people your vision. They're not gonna see it. So a lot of the Chiron energy that you're feeling right now is because you want people to come in based on what you are just saying. And the universe don't work that way with Aries. Okay, your words are not enough. Show me. I ain't saying you got to be able to do the entire thing, but you got to at least start this thing. You got to at least have a business plan. You got to at least have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You want to just tell me the one and want me to come in and help you do the rest of it. That's not going to happen. Chiron and Aries is going to break you. Okay, it's going to teach you that you have to bring your vision first. If don't nobody walk with you, you got to be willing to walk with you. That's Chiron and Aries. Show up for yourself. And once you show up for yourself, I won't have no problem sending you to help. Okay, so this is about facing the wounds and turning them into strengths. I don't care where it exists for you. Chiron and Aries, Chiron and Leo. Leo is the same thing. Leo is that being judged, right? Being afraid to be on the stage sometimes because people sometimes can judge you. And when they judge you, you hide because I'm okay, fine. Well, since y'all, I'm gonna just do this. No, because now you're slowing down the process. You're slowing down the universe's ability to give you the help that you need because you're too afraid, or your heart is broken because too many people have said too many things about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's where you have to be like, I don't care about that. I'm gonna show up anyway. Leo is the stage, okay? So this Chiron and Aries energy is forcing you back on the stage. It's forcing you to face your stage fright, or where you may have some level of stage fright because of what, several different things. It may be a physical appearance. It may be because of how you feel like you speak, or you may feel like people don't understand you, or whatever the case may be. But whatever the case may be, Chiron is exposing you to the problems that you have of why you are not getting out there more, okay? Yes, showing them. You have to show. Talk, don't talk. Talk wide. Okay, they don't hear you. When you have Chiron and Aries, you sound like the baby most times when you talk anyway. People are like, oh, you're just so cute. That's how they look at you, like, get millions. They're like, oh, you're still so cute. And that could irritate the hell out of you because you want action, right? You ain't gonna get no action until you stop and just do. Okay. All right. Who else? Who else gave me that Chiron? Nobody else? Chiron and Cap. In the 5th house, Chiron and Capricorn has everything to do with wounded healing around family. It's legacy. It's mama and daddy. One parent is something not there, and it created some wounds. Okay. And since those wounds were created by their parents or parents, it could be both of them. Okay. You tell yourself, I ain't gonna have no I'm not gonna have a reunion like this. I'm not gonna have legacy like this. My marriage and union gonna be better. Well, if you don't heal it, it's gonna be the same. Okay. And the fact that it's in the 5th house is affecting your ability to get on the stage. You also have a fear of being judged. You have a fear of that thing happening. The judgment, the whole dynamic and how it shows up for you, right? And because it shows up for you like that, you don't want to put yourself out there because your deepest wounds have come from the people that your makers. They've come from your family. They've come from your parents. So because those wounds hit and they hit so deep, you don't even want to get on the stage. You don't want to give nobody else the opportunity to do that. So you hide, okay? So when you hide, you don't get the gifts. Understand, Chiron is exposing us all because once we get the wounds exposed and we can heal, because again, we heal through Chiron. That's why it's called the wounded healer. All right. Okay. So what it exposes in you is healing in you, right? So the more you heal, the more you're able to do your dreams, the more you're able to live in that Neptune perspective, and you can get back on the stage and do that. Okay. You can get out there. Okay. Because it's also going to it's going to affect you in a real way. All right. Let me scan down. Yeah, I'm stage ready. That's what I'm talking about. I've got Chiron and Pisces in 12. Yes. So 12th house is the karma, right? And that whole energy of the same ways in which I told you, because you also got Pisces in the first. Okay. So that Pisces in the first energy and that Pisces in the 12th energy is battling. It's going back and forth. It's like knowing that people gonna come to you and being ready for that gift and being ready to do that. But then the 12th house is also where we have past life karma too. Okay. So if you look at your 12th house, what you got in the 12th house is part of your issues from the last life. Okay. So that Pisces in the last life, meaning that last life you did do the coaching. Last life you was helping. Last life you was the outreach and people came to. But the difference was between last life and this life is the fact that last life you did it at a detriment of yourself. You had attachments, okay? And those attachments is what took you out. And because those attachments took you out, you had to come back in here and repeat part of it. And now you're like, well, I ain't even coaching nobody. I'm just not gonna give y'all nothing. Because last time I tried to do that and it didn't serve me well, right? So now understand that whole energy of what you're pushing through in your first house has a lot to do with what you are healing yourself of from the last life, okay? All right, Chiron and Taurus. Chiron and Taurus has everything to do with stability and money and the royalty of life, okay? I also have Chiron and Taurus too. So that whole energy is about, you know what I'm saying, us dealing with some energy as it relates to, feeling like we supposed to already have the luxury. I always say people who have Chiron and Taurus, our last life, we came from a royalty life. So it's like coming in this life like, what is this? What? The bottom that, right? That's all Chiron and Taurus energy because we don't want to do it. Give me my castle, give me my staff, give me my cook, my hairdresser, all of that. Give me my stuff because I don't want to do this. I don't want to have nothing to do.
So what you telling me is that Virgo and Saturn, you have to work for it this time. You got to work for it this time.
Who else got that Saturn dynamic in Virgo? Me. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, those of us who come in this 7-9 life, we come from a royalty life, but this life we have to work it. We have to work to get it. And that's the thing that bothers us the most. Okay. Who else got Chiron and Taurus? Sharon, same for you, baby. Come on, join us. Okay. That same energy. And because it's in the 8th house, it's transforming you. Okay. So these wounds, this energy that you feel is about transmuting it and transforming and turning it over into a new leaf. Turn it over to some form of thing that you can actually use. It can't be a detriment to you. You can't let it be a detriment to you. Okay. Chiron in the 9th house. Yes. So Chiron in the 9th house with Sag has everything to do with, again, traveling, right? And or feeling sometimes that your travel is thwarted sometimes when you go out and try to expand yourself, okay? That Chiron wound energy and dealing with that 9th house energy has a lot to do with also teacher and the student. So some part of you and being a student or being a teacher, I'll say, because I know you're a good student, but being a teacher, sometimes you're not getting yourself out there. As a matter of fact, I can't think of the last time I didn't see you talk about teaching something, Kelly. So I can understand exactly what this is. Okay. So it's time to get back out there. Meaning it's time you can't just consume. We can't consume, y'all. We are all connected. So meaning even with this, even when y'all come to class and y'all learn this about yourself, I expect y'all to start talking to people about astrology and about what you found out about yourself, because that's going to help you to retain it. If you're not teaching this, you're not talking to people about this, how can y'all expect for this to be in the fabric of you and you to use it? You got to use it, and using it means including talking about it, okay? So we got to talk more about that, okay? Okay, well, good. See, and because it's not on social media, I don't see it, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's the thing. Now I know you used to be a teacher. I know you was an educator, like actually working at a school. So I don't know if you back into that dynamic, but I know that's your natural place. Okay, you are a teacher. You're supposed to teach. So a part of some of your issues in the past surrounding teaching, or maybe some of the things that you feel that goes along with teaching, is for you to also heal yourself from that, right? But get yourself out there, even if it means you having to create your own schools. Okay, you got to do it. Okay. All right, and it's best to learn from perspective. Yes, and that's the only way you're gonna get it. It's a reciprocal. Remember, we was talking about that Libra reciprocal energy. Okay, it's the same that exists here. How are you going to be a great student if you are afraid to be a great teacher? How? It goes hand in hand. Again, I'll bring you back to the baby. Once them babies learn how to count, come on, mama, let's count. Come on, you ready to count, mama? Say 1, say 2. That's because the confidence, okay? Teaching builds your confidence, not just in your knowledge, in yourself, okay? It makes you stronger on knowing who you are and what you are, okay? All right. Jumping into this Jupiter energy, okay? Because Jupiter is also dealing with Aries, right? So we got the Chiron in Aries. Now the Jupiter in Aries. What is Jupiter? Expansion, treasure chest. What does Jupiter rule? Sagittarius, traveling, teacher, students. Okay, it also rules this intellectual mindset. Okay, the sapiosexual, the person who needs to have knowledge first before they can bring it into the physical perspectives. Okay, so that's now what we're dealing with. And now traveling with this energy, or not being afraid to go out there. Okay, sometimes you got to go by yourself. Where you have Aries is where you have to go alone. Okay, by yourself. I know it's the baby, but you got everything you need. Y'all, I bet you can't tell me one baby you know personally that's not being taken care of. That's you when it's time for you to move. Okay, trust that the universe got you. Okay, I teach yoga and do coaching. I'm stepping into teaching human design. Well, beautiful. Well, I can't wait, because I definitely want to learn more human design. So let us all know when you decide to do that, so we can all come, okay, and join in that class. I definitely know more about my projector energy, okay? But this is the energy. It's time to now take all this Pluto, Saturn, Neptune. We talked about Chiron and Jupiter, and now move it together, right? So basically what all this is saying is, if you change and transform, right? You know what you need to do in your Capricorn dynamics, and you structure yourself, your time, your energy, and you get focused, right? And you transform and transmute. You take that same dynamic, merge it with the Saturn energy, and start to think forward, start think futuristic, but also be willing to let things go that's no longer serving you, right? Because again, you can't drag friends and people into places where they do not belong. Then you merge that same dynamic, merging in with the Neptune and Pisces, saying, in order for me to get to my dreams, I gotta stop forfeiting my dreams for everybody else's dreams. I gotta stop giving them all my time and energy, knowing that my dreams need more from me than what I'm giving to other people. So I gotta stop having this attachment energy to everybody else and have this attachment to myself, so that I can birth my dreams, birth my Neptune, birth my energy. And the Chiron part is, the reason why I'm doing it in the first place is because of my wounds. Because of what happened to me when I was a child, because of the things that I learned from my parents. I'm still processing these things, and I'm still feeling this energy. And because I'm still feeling this energy, I'm stuck. I'm feeling stuck. Where you have your Chiron energy can make you feel stuck. But when you say, I want to heal from these childhood wounds, I want to release them, I want to forgive, now I can start to incorporate and move on my own. And the universe is going to show up to help me, because the wounded healer means that it's there to heal. Okay. And then when I'm willing to heal, Jupiter comes in and say, okay, baby, let's go. Y'all ready to go? Are you ready to go over here? You ready to go over here? You ready to go and learn? No, you're not going to be able to take a group with you on this trip. You got to go by yourself, but are you ready? Okay. Are you ready to step into it? No, you're not going to have the support, but are you ready? Okay. Jupiter is working us in a real way about being alone. So a lot of us are starting to feel that. I feel like I'm so alone. I'm so isolated. That's on purpose. Because when you are isolated and alone is where you hear yourself the most. When you got everybody around you telling you all these things, you know, making you feel like you're okay being stuck, and girl, it's okay. Just I feel stuck too. We could be stuck together. No, get by yourself. Get alone so you can start to realize that the only reason why you're stuck is because you are afraid of your greatness. Come on. 2023 is going to give you everything that you want if you want it. But if you don't want it, prepare to be sad. Prepare for the sadness. Prepare for, what is that? Come on now. The old movie. The Swamps of Sadness. What movie is that? I know it's an old movie, but help me out. All my old people, everybody that's over 40. The Swamps of Sadness is from what movie? Is it Never Ending Story? Is it the Never Ending Story?
With the
No.
It's the movie with
Oh.
Fred Savage and his grandpa's reading him the story. The Princess Bride.
Was it?
Yes, it's the Princess Bride.
Okay. Listen. I don't know why.
I was
Never-
thinking
No,
the
no. What she's talking about is that swamp. She's talking about the swamp in the never ending story. She's talking about the swamp in the never ending story where he lost his horse and he had to. Yeah, that's
yes.
Yeah.
That part
that's
right
what she's
there.
talking about.
Yeah, it's exactly
It's like
right.
the swamp of misery or
I
something
guess
like that.
It wasn't the Swamps of Sadness, so my bad.
Really wanted us to understand.
It wasn't the Swamps of Sadness, but it was a swamp. And
Yeah.
it may have been Swamps of Misery or something like that, but it was like, if you believed that you could survive through it, right? You can go through this swamp, and even though it had quicksand and all this kind of stuff that pulled you down, you can still get out of it. But it's like the moment you got into it, if you allowed yourself to feel like you were alone, or you feel yourself that you were sinking and you couldn't get out, it killed you. It took you all the way in. This is what I'm talking about. This is the energy you in right now.
Wow.
You're in this right now. If you believe that all of this is transforming you to get you to your greatness, then it don't matter how sinking, what it looks like. It doesn't matter, because that's all a part of the training too. The Chiron is a part of the training. And when you get through that part of it, the Jupiter comes in and say, oh, she believed. And since she believed, here we go. Okay. So the swamps of sadness, or however I word it, the swamps of whatever, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. This is the space that I'm talking about, how the energy represents itself. Okay. How it's moving. Yes, listen, I'm gonna go watch it again too, Marla, because when I tell you the never ending story, when I think there's so many different references about the never ending story. And then for all y'all young people, I know we get this some age, but trust me, it's a good old movie that really talks about going through, like going on a journey, right? So this is very Jupiter energy, traveling by yourself, because it started off with the boy reading the book in the library, and it went from reading the book in the library, and it's like his vision started to come alive as he was reading this, and everything, it's like watching Alice in Wonderland along with like story time together. You know what I'm saying? This beautiful merger of how we go through journeys, and your belief is what gets you there. Okay. Understand that these retrogrades is never ending story right now. That's what it is. Okay. So yes, it was called a swamp to say, I see. I thought that's what it was, but y'all know it's retrograde. So I could be wrong. My brain could be a little twisted. Okay. But know that that's something that we all need to watch. So we're gonna all watch this. And when we come back to class, I want some reports. I want some reports of what came up for you. Look at the movie now with the astrology lens, okay? Knowing what y'all know about the retrograde perspectives, okay? Now, Uranus and Taurus, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the Mercury in retrograde. Even though Mercury is in Virgo right now, it started off in Libra, and then those last two placements are just stuff that's coming. So I'll talk about that briefly, but we ain't gonna get into it because that's not really a part of what you got going on right now. What we got going on is everything we talked about, plus this last placement, the Uranus and Taurus placement. Now, this is really important because Uranus is out of the box. Okay, Taurus is stability, money, finances, royalty. Get it what you get, whatever you want. God, do it however you want to do it, baby. It's big and it's big. Like he said, think big, bitch. It's that energy, okay? But when we talk about the Uranus in retrograde energy, now is all the things that you feel like you were supposed to have already. Oh, come on now. Hallelujah in the place. You understand? So because it's about the things you are already supposed to have, why you don't have it? Why we don't have, tell me, come on, church. Why we don't have the things that we think we're supposed to have when it comes down to the money, the stability, the nice house, nice car, the travel, the bank account. Why we don't have what we're supposed to have? Come on, we don't think we deserve it. What else? Why we don't have it? That damn Chiron and Leo. Come on. We don't fit right. Attachments to others, moving scared. Y'all better listen. Y'all better preach in here. Y'all better preach because you give it to everybody else. You building everybody else's dreams, and then guess what? It's still gonna crash because when you put your energy on somebody else's dream, it ain't theirs. So now you're spending all that time giving them years and years and years of your stuff just to watch it fall to the ground anyway because it wasn't theirs. It's not on a foundation. It's not solid. The only thing that's gonna be solid is you putting your energy into yourself. That's what this Uranus energy is teaching you. It ain't about other people's stuff. Who's trying to say something to me? Who said it? Don't be scared. I heard you. Come on. What you saying? Who was that? It wasn't Marcel. Marcel, was that you? Somebody just said something to me. Was that you, Mitzi? Was it you, Mitzi? I think it was you, Mitzi. I think you said something to me. Do you understand what I'm saying to y'all? This energy is powerful. And I know everybody like, man, 6 planets in retrograde. No, it's actually more. When you look at the whole entire chart, minus 2 placements are just not in retrograde. So this right here is a brand new life. This is a brand new heart. This is a brand new relationship. This is a brand new mind. This is a brand new, all this energy, okay? It's only helping you to see the fullness and the totality of what's going on. You understand? So I know it feels crazy, but understand the opportunity that's here. Understand that this Uranus and Taurus is saying, if you do everything that's above, the Pluto, the Saturn, the Neptune, the Chiron, the Jupiter, then I don't have no problems expanding this for you. I don't have no problem breaking you free of these boxes and allowing you to see that all the energy that you spend putting into everybody else, it's only been about you anyway. That's all it's been about. It ain't been about nobody else. Okay? I need to continue loving on my shadow self and letting her know I got her back. Yes, and she doesn't have to sabotage. Come on. What are we sabotaging for? Now, let me tell you what the truth about your sabotage energy. Okay, let me free y'all real quick. Your sabotage energy ain't come from you. It came from your parents. Okay? You come from a cycle of sabotagers. Okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? A cycle of sabotagers. Why? Because they were trying to survive and be in the shadows. They didn't want to be loud. Being loud meant death. Okay, but you ain't in that time period no more, so you don't have to process that anymore. Give up the ghost. Give it up. It ain't for you. You just have remnants of this energy, and how you know it ain't for you, because you keep fighting that same principle of being muted, that same principle of hiding, that same principle of playing it safe. You are fighting it day in and day out. So if it was naturally yours, why wouldn't you just go along with it? Why y'all in this class? Why y'all here? You here because you know that that was a part of the process to ensure that the legacy survived this long. But now it's time for to step out. It's a new time, right? So since it's a new time, understand these retrogrades is beating you loose of all the things that ain't yours. It's not trying to kill you. It's trying to break you free. That's what's happening. So everybody around here, oh man, these retrogrades are killing us. No, it's showing you the fact that you have been giving your life away. You have been giving everybody and everything, all of you, and wondering why you coming up short. You coming up short because you are scared, okay? Yes, but guess what? It ain't just you, Drea, that's scared. It's all of us that are scared. And guess what? The scaredness came from your mama. okay? Because she really wanted to do all the things that you're doing right now. So when you find yourself getting stuck, call it out. Call out to the energy. Say, hey, I know you're scared, like you just said. I know you're scared, but I know this is from a generation of people who try to survive. So we ain't gonna play scared no more, because now we don't have a choice. Now we don't have a choice. You know? And number one, don't say that it's hard. Okay? Don't make it hard, because hard is unmovable. Okay, use another word. It has some difficulty, difficulties to it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a little rigid. It sticks me in my side. Yes, it's a challenge for me, but it's a challenge that I know I can complete, because guess what? All y'all charts, all the aspects y'all just gave me prove that y'all got the energy to break free from this. You would not be in this room with me unless we all have the proof in the pudding to be able to break free from this. All of y'all in here are billionaires. You know how I know y'all billionaires? Because I'm one. And you can't be in here with me unless you are. Okay? Now, you came from a cycle of money being stifled. The reason why I was stifled, again, because being loud gets you killed. Okay? With a T. Killed, K-I-L-L-T. It gets you killed. You understand? But we are not in that time now, because now you're in a point to where your energy, the biggest that you get, it brings it all back in. Okay? So understand that energy that your ancestors have left on the side, they want you to have it. So they understand that you feel a little scared. They understand that you think that it's hard, but at the same time, it's time to bring it back in. It's time to, Erica said, you said proof in the pudding while I'm eating pudding. Come on. Again, what I just said. We are all billionaires in this room. I'm going to keep saying it to you. You are a billionaire. You have all the energy, all the money, all the stability that you need. You are not blocked by anything. You're just telling yourself that you are. And I'm not going to let you do that to yourself, because you are my mirror reflection. I need you. I need you because we need each other. Okay? So understand that these retrogrades is helping us to break free. So say thank you on your difficult days from now on. When you wake up tomorrow and things become a challenge, or if something happens, say thank you for breaking me free, because if you don't break me free of this, I'll keep sabotaging myself. I'll keep telling myself I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to it. No, you won't. You won't get to it. You're just only going to leave it there for your children to now have to come and deal with this. Okay? Let's make it easier for the generation that's coming behind us. And the way we make it easier is by saying yes to it. It's okay. Listen, when I told them in the class, the Virgo class, I've been crying every day since I got to Mexico. Every day, you understand me? But I am the most happiest I've ever been in my life. So why am I crying? I'm crying because y'all been carrying years and years and years of stuff. So understand, when you get to your happy, tears come too. The reason why they come is because you've been suppressing your happy for a long time. You've been pressing that. You hear me? And because you've been pressing that, it's like the moment you get out of it and you start to get into happy, you are sad first. That's a real thing. Okay, you ain't bipolar. Stop making them give you pills. You are a person that is experiencing the energies that it takes to get you free. Okay, it's okay. You could be tired all day, but guess what? Feel the emotion, like Ma just said. Feel the emotion, go through it. Allow these retrogrades to purge you and cleanse you, okay? The Mercury part of this retrograde, going from the Libra perspective back into this Virgo dynamic, is what are you saying to yourself, okay? Watch your words. Watch how y'all treat yourselves. Watch the things that you say to yourself. You can't use words like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know what's happening to me. I can't get there. You can't use those words, because using those words create the blocks that you're tripping over. You're tripping. You're falling over. But you're falling over because these are the things that you put in place. Again, these are not your obstacles. They are your parents. Release them. Okay, these are not your problems. They are the generations that came before you, and they don't want you to deal with it anymore. But you are so aggressive with holding on to this that they fighting you too. Give me this back. They don't want you to hold on to it, but you can't say these things to you. So this Mercury retrograde, you got from now into the 2nd, okay, to evaluate the words that you're saying to yourself. Okay, just listen. Now, one of the things that can help you to listen to what you're saying to yourself is to go on a vow of silence. Okay, if you can do it for 24 hours will be good. 48 hours is even better. Okay, if you can do, because I know some of us have jobs that forces us to communicate. When you get off the job, stop talking. I'm gonna tell you what happens when you stop talking. Your thoughts get louder. You start to really hear. Okay. And when you start to really hear, you can start to get on top of those things that you're saying, because that's where the blocks are being created. They're being created in your head before they even come out your mouth. So spend some time shutting up and listening to yourself and correcting the inner voice. There's an inner voice that's in there that's controlling everything that you do. You think it's your body. You think it's you. No, it's that little person that's inside. I say I have about a good 15 or 20 little men in my head. Now, why little men? We'll talk about that later. But they all little men, okay? And they all dress, they all fly, okay? Little flamboyant. They're all flamboyant. It's okay. But they keep me solid. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when 2 or 3 of them up there starting to talk crazy, the other ones attack. So then I be up in the whole big thing, like just fighting with myself. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that this is a part of the energy that I have to get corrected. You got to correct the voices. Correcting the voices, vows of silence. Okay, so if you can do 24 hours, again, try to do 2 hours or 3 hours and then progress it. If you happen to have a day off this week, coming up the weekend, just take a whole day. And this is one of the things that you can do too, for your family. Send them a text message. Say, hey, listen, I'm choosing to go on a vow of silence to really deal with my inside voice right now. I want to really get on top of the words that I'm saying to myself. Y'all can still send me text messages. Y'all can still call me, but just know that I'm not going to be responding. If you still want to engage with your family in the world, you can. I did a whole week of a vow of silence, and I went out into the world, okay? I went to grocery stores. I had pen and paper. I would write stuff out, and what I thought was real crazy, because the only thing I would tell people like, hey, I'm preserving my silence. But for whatever reason, they heard that I was deaf because they was talking to me loud as hell. What do you need, ma'am? So, sir, I'm not deaf. I can hear you. I'm just preserving myself. So what I'm saying is, regardless of what you got to do in the world, you can still preserve this. You need to preserve your voice so you can preserve your heart and your mind. Okay? So spend some time, vow of silence, this week leading up to the retrograde ending, the Mercury retrograde ending on the 2nd. What you're going to notice is the things that you've been saying to yourself, and I want you to counteract that. If you notice in your vow of silence that you're always speaking negative, then what you want to do is counterbalance that. Say if you find out that, you say, I can't do this a lot, then your words should be like, okay, I notice that I'm saying that I can't, but I'm moving myself into my will. I will do it. I'm doing it right now. Okay. And eventually what's going to happen is when that can't word show up, that other voice is going to be like, hold on, I thought we was working on this. I thought we was putting will into place. I thought we will do it. And you'll be like, oh, okay. It's going to be just that easy. Okay. But because you never had to do it, you've never done it. You know what I'm saying? You've never had to do it. So vow of silence. Yes. Yes. Oh, what I missed? Wait, I missed some. I'm very confident in every way except when I pick up that camera. That's when that fucking voice comes and shit. Yes, but this is the thing about that, okay? Because when you was in New Orleans, okay, that voice was louder than anything that I've ever seen in you in your life. You didn't hear nothing or nobody. You went into trance, into photography, and you wasn't a photographer then. You didn't have a camera. You didn't own that. But you went off into it. So there is a past life in you, Drea, that knows this thing up and down and forwards and backwards. You just got to let it come out. You can't be afraid of how weird and crazy and eclectic she is. And Leslie, the same thing for you. While you over there talking about her, both of y'all got the same energy when it comes down to photography. Y'all got this in you. You just gotta you gotta let the crazy out, okay? Everybody on this call, let the crazy out. Do you hear me? Stop trying to make it pretty, make it look cute and good. Let the crazy out. Because if you let the crazy out, you will see just how beautiful, creative you are. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's what these retrogrades about. Yes, come on. We all working on it. I told you, I'm here in Mexico for my music. So I'm leading by example. Y'all finna see more music out of me, just out of no, ain't no astrology posted, they just music. Like, where is that coming from? Because it's that time. Right? Moving forward, before we start to do any astrology calls, you finna hear some music from me. You're gonna hear me sing or hear me do something, not because I need y'all to clap for me, because this is me holding me accountable to what I said that I'm doing for myself. You hear what I'm saying? So all of us, we're all in the same placements. Understand that this energy of 6 planets in retrograde, plus this Chiron, plus this North Node energy, which is in Taurus, so it's dealing with the same aspect of the Uranus and Taurus energy, is all saying right now. Right now. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all understand what's going on? Because I feel like I've been screaming at y'all for the last 30 minutes. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Let me stop this. I know. Listen, we're going to get it one way or the other. One way or the other, we're going to break all the barriers off. Every dynamic that we need. This retrograde energy is your friend. It is not here to kill you per se. Okay? What I mean per se, I mean, if you're going to kick and scream, then yeah, it's going to kill you. It's going to just continue to make you feel like you are suffocating inside of some type of air bubble. You know what I'm saying? But if you are willing, okay, if you are willing to use this retrograde energy, use it. Use every part of it, okay? So all the planets that we talked about, your job is to go and find these placements in it. So when you get the playback, now it's time for y'all to do the work. The work is study where these retrogrades are for you. Study the aspects. If it's Pluto and Capricorn, study Pluto and Capricorn. Okay, study it in your chart. If you don't have Capricorn there, 10th house. Y'all know what these aspects are inside of it. All you have to do is read. Your purpose of reading is because when you do, something from that is going to give you the indication of why you're here in the first place. Why you in that aspect? Why you stuck in that space? That's what it's going to bring out. But if you don't study it, you're going to find yourself drowning in the misery of this energy, not knowing what to do with it. And it's here to help you, okay? Every last one of them, all 6 plus Chiron and the North Node. The North Node is saying, I'll give you everything that you ever wanted in your life. I'll give you all the riches. I'll give you all the movement. You know what I'm saying? You want, what do you want out of this? Do you want a show on Broadway? Do you want a, you know what I'm saying? What is it? What do they do when they go into the museum? You want a museum show? You know, what do you want? What is it that you really are looking for from this? Do you want a multi-billion-dollar industry that you can go and just let happen, and you go off and go and take trips and learn to scuba dive, learn to do some Reiki, whatever the case may be? Everything you want is already available to you. But if you are resisting this retrograde, if you are hiding in the house, if you will not do nothing with this energy, you are going to miss it. Questions? An exhibition. Come on now. Mark, I want all of it. Do you hear me? Listen, I'm trying to be the headliner, okay? On somebody's doggone Summerfest tour or something. I need y'all to come on here and get this music out of me, okay? Use it till I'm ready to not do it no more, okay? This last little bit of, you know, juju energy that I got with this body left at 43. Oh, we finna press the button. We finna push it all the way out there, okay? We finna torque all of it. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked what you see, because I'm gonna let the crazy out. Okay, when y'all see the crazy out, just comment on my stuff. Gigi, that's the crazy. I'm be like, yep, we already talked about it. You understand? The opening act, the headliner. Do you hear me? Y'all know what song I'm talking about. But any questions? Do y'all have any questions about any aspect that y'all feel like is giving you the biggest problem? Why y'all got me? Some cray. You understand? So you may well go ahead and get ready, bring it on over here to Mexico. I got some photo shoots and some stuff that need to be done. So get yourself together. I'll see you soon, ma'am. Go ahead, work that out. Come on. Any y'all have no questions? So y'all know.
I was gonna say something. I'm sorry, I couldn't type because I have long nails. It's Erica.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, you mentioned something about like Capricorn, 10th house, Aquarius, and what is that, the 11th house. I feel like it's fucking my whole shit up because I have a lot of 10th house placements. I have my Mercury, my Mars, what is it? My sun is in the 11th house. I feel like I don't even know me no more. It's OD. But that's what I wanted to say. I don't know. Is that like, I'm trying to think. I have a lot of 10th house places. I don't know what I wanted to say, but I just feel like I don't even know myself.
What's 10th house?
Career. Right?
Yes. So if you got a lot of 10th house placements, and this whole conversation I've been telling us all about is about what our dreams are, what we're here to do. Your career has everything to do with that too. Pluto, that Capricorn, anytime we're talking about Capricorn, we're talking about the 10th house, right? So because you got all this in the 10th, if Mercury is there, that means this whole conversation about who do you really want to be, right? Is it because I know that Capricorn placement outside of when you don't know who you want to be, guess what it's focused on? Money. You'll be only about the money hungry. Okay.
Yes. And my North Node is in Capricorn in the 11th house.
Money hungry. Okay. So money, but this is not your passion. Passion, your money is the whole idea of chasing money is not the passion. What is your passion really in? You are a business owner. Are you working for somebody right now?
No, I'm a dancer, remember? Yeah.
Let me say it again. Are you working for somebody right now? Do you own the club?
Oh, no.
Okay. So being a dancer, even though it's a form of independence, it's still not the purpose is for you to own the building, baby. Own the building. You love dancing, great. That's fine because it brings the money, but it's time for you to build the building. You can be a better business owner than the person that you are actually going into that building for right now. What's your conversation? What are you telling yourself as it relates to where you are? Are you okay with being where you at? Are you ready for the next level of it? I need an answer.
Oh, I thought about owning a yoga studio, but I mean, a strip club would be cool too. But I want to start singing. I've been frightened on singing. I haven't sang.
Yes.
But I'm on stage though, so stage fright.
You on stage.
MBO.
You working through that dynamic. So whether it's a yoga studio, whether it's a strip club, I'm just telling you, you have to own the building, baby. It's time for you to step into ownership. Okay. And stepping into ownership is the next level of you not being afraid. The first part was you just getting on the stage, wooing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, hell yeah, what we doing, girl? Whatever you want to do, I want to do it with you. And you like, okay, good. Give me your money because now I'm finna go over here and build me a building. I'm finna go do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So have them both. Do the yoga studio and do the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Train these girls. If you know more about the energy and what they can do with their money, they can take that money and turn it into an empire. All of this is you, okay? But it's about ownership. So having that 10th house is running you crazy because you're going after the money, but you're not going after the business. You're the boss, okay? Remember what Cardi says? I'm a boss, you a worker. You understand? You the boss. So boss up. That's what that's about. Everybody in here is bosses. All I see is bosses on this screen. That's it. Okay. So you got it. And you said 11th house. What you got in 11th?
My sun and my North Node.
Okay. So North Node, definitely has to be with you get the North Node is just the vehicle that you drive. Okay, so if you already got your sun and your North Node connected together, that also sometimes, and it's an Aquarius too, then yeah, that's just about you hiding a little bit. But we already worked through that. We already worked through your hiding. But sometimes you may feel like you still want to hide, but that's not gonna happen. Okay. So it's okay for it to make you feel like you need to run and escape from yourself. But at the same time, this is about showing up more. Okay. So the moment you feel like you want to run, go in the opposite direction, do more. You know what I'm saying? Do some stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable and presses your buttons. Okay. Because the more you do that, the more it's going to take away this Aquarius energy that wants to hide. Because that Aquarius will hide, baby. It will hide in its brain, okay, in the front of you. You having a whole conversation with somebody and you was somewhere else. You was not there. Drea could tell you this one right here. Listen, look, this one right here. Y'all both of y'all, the Aquarius at the top and the Aquarius in the bottom middle, meet each other, okay? Because that's what she just got through talking about, that same dynamic, okay? Use the preliminary energy to get that's what I'm saying. That's it. It's a segue. You know, so know that Capricorn dynamic is that's not naturally who you are. That's what you're learning to use. The key word for Capricorn is I use. Okay. So wherever you got Capricorn is what you use. What you use to get to the next level. What's the next level? Capricorn energy, I always say you can either be Michelle Obama or you can be, Michelle Obama without Barack. You know what I'm saying? Which is, so one is support. One is I'm running the show. That's all it is. Okay. And right now she's running the show, baby. She on tour. She done wrote that book. She just said some things like, hey, I had to do what I had to do, but that wasn't me. That wasn't naturally me because I'm the boss. I'm the lawyer. I'm the one who went to school. I'm highly educated. Yes, ma'am, you sure are. And we want to see this from you. And she's showing it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I have a question. My Uranus is in Aquarius in the 7th house. Looking into it, I am somewhat confused as to what it means for this energy. Okay, so your Aquarius is in the 7th, so that's relationship perspective, and it's Uranus in Aquarius, right? So we're talking about Uranus. It rules Aquarius, one of the dynamics. But when it tends to be in the relationship perspectives, it's talking about a rebellious one. Okay. Or running from the traditions or not wanting the traditions, right? Which is okay because we are the non-conventional ones when it comes down to having Aquarius in that 7 dynamic, right? But at the same time, you have to also say, are you escaping from love? Are you choosing to cause conflict, and rebel when you know it's really pushing you to really love in a different type of way? Okay. So this is where you may have to challenge yourself when it comes down to dealing with your emotions, not wanting to have emotions in a relationship. Okay. So breaking free from a lot of the confines and the boxes as you see yourself when it comes down to the Aquarius dynamic in the 7th. Okay, it's just a weird placement. It's a very weird placement, but it's a beautiful placement for this age. What I mean is we're in the age of Aquarius. So those of us who have Venus in Aquarius and definitely have Aquarius in the 7th house in any planet capacity, our job is to show this new age how to love. Why you think poly and all this open marriage and all this energy is starting to come out more now? Starting to come out more now because we're learning how to love non-conventional. Okay. So part of your dynamic and how you are existing is you're probably having a battle between traditionalism and then what you see as non-traditionalism, meaning like, you want to do this, but at the same time, maybe you came from a foundation that doesn't support that. You're the newness in this. Okay. And learning how to be able to use it during this dynamic is you're probably running into some headbutts, wanting to run, wanting to, not do it, all kinds of things that's challenging you because Uranus is break free, get out of your box, get out of your own way, okay? And move forward, do some forward things, be very futuristic in how you show up, okay? So the retrograde is just listen, I'm in there with you, okay? I got Aquarius in the 7th. And trust me, I understand. Okay. You're welcome. All right, that's it. Y'all got anything else? We're gonna wrap it. Going once, going twice. Mitzi, I see you typing. You good?
Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome, Pearl. Thank you, my dear. Well,
Of course.
well, I'm going to send y'all playback. Study, study, study. Our next class is on relationship. We're only going to focus on relationships. So bring your relationship. If you got some booze, some husbands, you know, make sure you ask them, can you do that chart? Don't be running folks chart that you ain't got no permission on, that you finna come up in here with that juju. No, I don't want it, okay? Get permission, run the charts, and bring the charts in here. Let's talk about your relationship style as it compares to theirs, okay? Let's
But
see.
what if you don't have anybody?
You got somebody.
No, I don't. Oh, okay, bet. I'm gonna come and we're gonna talk about how I could undo the fucking spell I put on his ass that was really putting it on my damn self.
But do y'all see how she went from me saying you got somebody? She's like, oh, okay, then I'm gonna bring his child. Well, I'm just saying we all have.
I do not.
We
Don't
all
listen to
have
her.
somebody we can learn from. So you can bring in the last relationship. If you're not currently in a relationship, you can bring in the cycle of the last relationship that you was in, and we can go into that. We can learn, we can compare and contrast your Venus, your Mars, their seventh house, your seventh house, your moon, their moon. All these things is what makes the relationship synergy work, okay? So you can start to see, are you communicating your Venus? Or are you communicating more from your Mars? Because the truth is, most of us are communicating from the Mars. Most of us are communicating from the sexual aspects, okay? Or from this, not really saying everything that we need to say. I am going to send y'all the relationship contract for y'all to start now, okay? So even though we're going to be talking about it in the next class, start working on the relationship contract now. And that is, when you get it, write down your wants, needs, and desires from yourself first. Most of y'all don't even know what you want from yourself, but then you got a whole list of things you want from somebody else. How is that the case? If you can't give it to you, how they gonna give it to you? It's not gonna work. Okay? So relationship contract, bring the charts with you of the person or persons, okay, that you want to evaluate, for us to compare and contrast. So when it comes down to the relationship dynamic moving forward, because 2023 is going to be a year of beautiful relationships. I'm going to say it a little bit louder. 2023 is going to be the year of beautiful relationships. But that comes from you starting to have a beautiful relationship with yourself first. Okay? So everybody.
I was just gonna say, the only relationship I want is one with myself.
Okay, well, that's how you feel today. Okay, in a few weeks, we're gonna change that. Okay, because you don't have the markers of living alone. I'm sorry, those are not in your chart.
You gotta be joking.
You don't have it. You don't have those markers, ma'am. Okay, none of y'all in here have markers of being by yourselves. I've saw everybody's charts. So sorry, that's not what's happening. Okay, what's happening is the truth. Is you are learning to love yourself better. Everybody in here, whether we are in marriages or not, have problems with giving everybody everything and not having a true balance of self-care first. So we're going to start there. That's where we're going to start. Okay? And from that brings in healthier relationships. When you suck at being great to yourself, then everybody suck at being great to you. You want me to say it again? I think y'all heard it. Okay, I know you heard me. All right, let me check.
Don't say that shit again.
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Just like I don't have markers. That's right. Did y'all see what Marla wrote? She don't have the markers to be broke. We don't have the markers to be broke. You don't have the markers to be broke. You don't have the markers to be alone. Some of us have markers to be with multiple people. That's me and a few others. But what I'm saying is, you sure enough ain't supposed to live this life alone. Y'all got too many gifts and too many talents to be living a life by yourself. That is past hurt, and I'm not going to let you do that to yourself in this lifetime. Sorry. Now, if you don't want it to happen next lifetime, make sure that when y'all die, y'all write in the contract, I don't want Gigi next life. I don't want her to come in because she was too much this one. That's fine. Maybe I'll sign it too. I'm not. But it's okay. This life, you got me. And I'm going to make sure that you get what you want. That's it. We're going to all be happy, billionaires, truck around this parts, teaching everybody else and helping them to get their lives together as well. Welcome to your new life. Congratulations, you made it. I love y'all.
We love
I
you.
got a question.
Come on.
So, you know, I kind of float in and out, but do you have like a membership, or how does this work? Because you're talking about the next class. So
Yes. So the ways in which I have been maneuvering since I've been transitioning into this space is everybody who's been joining the class, if y'all notice, I've been sending y'all the details out first. So y'all get first dibs on the class. I let y'all know, and y'all just kind of come in and take the class. If you can't take the class, you can always do the $15, which is the playback or whatever. But as far as a membership that you can pay on time, that's coming. That's a part of this breaking down cycle to get reacclimated, because I had that before through forgot the Mighty Networks, and it just was too disconnected, meaning like I was putting a lot of information in, but nobody was really doing it. They were just coming to the live classes, and that was it. I was like, well, if y'all gonna come to the live class, why am I spending all my time putting all this information in there that y'all not gonna read? So it's about re-synergizing what works. And this right here, y'all tend to show up for the classes. When I say something about doing live class, y'all show up. The other stuff that we've been doing inside the community just seemed like it was too much. So it's about finding the balance to what works. And so far, this is what works, but we are going to have a private space that we can kind of continue to grow. So meaning like, even when we're not doing the monthly classes, we can come in and just train. Training is us talking about our aspects to each other, and then also reading for each other. You know what I'm saying? That also helps you again to learn more when you are also training with other people. Okay.
okay, so I'm on the list. So
Yep.
I'm good.
You're good.
Okay.
Everybody's
Okay,
easy, y'all good. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. The folks on the outside got to worry. Y'all don't have to worry. Y'all in there. Okay. I love y'all too.
I have
Come on. Am I breaking?
okay. I thought you were ending. So okay, I was too late. I just have not really a question, but a share, and I'm noticing how I'm relating to this current relationship challenge. I'm relating to it differently.
Yes.
So I'm relating to it differently, but there's also a part of me that wants to like go back into the old, like, woe is me, and he's doing something to me, and blah 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 blah. So I have this that's what's fucking with me, is the battle right now. Like,
yeah,
it's really fucking me up.
Yeah, I know. And listen, I'm sending you a hug. I can feel you, baby. Trust me when I tell you that's exactly where you're supposed to be. It's supposed to feel like it's fucking you up. And I know that's the last thing you want to hear from me. But understand that in order for you to break free, it's gotta fuck you up. It's gotta shake you a little bit. It's gotta make you feel so uncomfortable that you be like, what is going on? Save myself. That's what it is. You gotta save yourself. And understanding that a lot of this back and forth energy has been you feeling like before. There's some victim energy that you have not released yet. There's some things that have happened to you that you have just moved past. You didn't deal with it though. You just moved past it and then got into another relationship, right? Then something else happened. You just moved past. When are we going to stop moving past things and sit down and really deal with it? This is the deal with it. So that's why it's fucking you up, because it's tired of you moving past yourself, getting on and just moving on. Now it's you first. It's you first. So let it do that. Let it make you feel that. So when that energy comes up, where you recognize that the old you has experienced this before, that's who you need to deal with. Deal with the first time this happened to you. The first time you did too much and they went ghost. The first time you poured all your energy into a relationship dynamic and it didn't show up for you, and you just, okay, fine, the next one. No, this one. Go back. So even though you don't want to go back, I want you to go back because I need you to deal with that energy. Deal with that. Because if you don't go back and deal with it, then the next one is going to for sure make you feel like a victim. You're going to feel like a victim, but you're not a victim. You are an amazing woman. You always have been. You know what I'm saying? So this energy of what you've been dealing with ain't got nothing to do with who you are as a person. It has everything to do with how much you've been giving, though. It has everything to do with that. And you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to give all that away to prove who you are. You are who you are. And if they can't take you as you are, fuck them. You understand? Period. So let's heal from that. Go back. Allow yourself to go back just for a moment to recall that stuff. And that's what I'm talking about, the forgiveness. The forgiveness is not going to dismiss the people who've done those things to you. It's going to detach you from that victim energy. Okay? You got me?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, Pearl. Anybody else? Group hug? Group hug for the retrograde. Hug yourself. Come on. Give yourself some love. Some big. Okay. I want y'all to spend more time doing this. Because this right here, this is safety. This is having what you need. This is the answer. This is all the dynamics that's going to bring everything else. This right here. This is the focus. This is what's been the problem. We haven't been focused here enough. Okay. All right.
You gonna have to just cut it off. You know, our ass is gonna sit here.
I'm just reading to make sure that I ain't left nothing out. I hear you, Monique. You said I done got into your butt already because we just had our session. I love you. I'm glad you showed up, even though we just had our session. You came to class anyway. That's the beautiful thing about you, Monique. You gonna show up regardless. You hear me? Good night. I love y'all. So I will see y'all in 2 weeks. You'll get this playback in the morning. Get on your homework. This is your homework for the next 2 weeks. When we come back in and get into the relationship dynamic, we're going to be through with this. I need y'all to have y'all plan of action. Because when we come into that perspective too and talk about the relationship, we're also going to go ahead and start to plan what 2023 is going to be. We're not waiting until New Year's resolution. Y'all are going to do it now. Okay? It's time now. Let's use this energy. Let's not wait. We're gonna be late. If we do it on the first, we're too late. Okay, so we're gonna do it now. All right. So do your relationship contract, do your homework. I'll see y'all on the 9th. I love y'all. Kisses from Mexico. I'm gonna eventually learn Spanish. Okay, just help me. Send me energy.
Yeah,
If y'all got
classes
any
in Spanish.
what you say?
I say classes in Spanish. Yay.
No, I can't. No, if y'all got any pointers that's not Babbel and that other Duolingo, I can't do that. I need to talk because that stuff does not help me. Okay, I just be on there just click. I get all the words, right? I know all the words. I just don't say it. Okay.
Just watch TV in Spanish. That's all you gotta do.
I
You
have
pick it
been
up.
doing that, and I have.
Yeah, you'll pick it up.
I don't know nothing. They talk too fast.
So you gotta watch something you really know. You gotta watch like The Color Purple in Spanish.
But you know
like
what's been working is music. The music is kind of a little bit slower, so it helps, and I can pick up the words. So I know that. But that TV, that Telemundo, I can't catch nothing. It is too fast. So
yeah, I'm good till they go full speed. After that, I'm like, huh?
Nothing, you know what I'm saying? But it's been good. I'm having a great time. Like I said, I am in tears every day, but I am happy every day. I ain't never felt so great. Just the body feeling good, energy feeling good, but I'm crying. So just so y'all know, I'm over here crying. Gigi is over there having a good time. I sure am, but I just finished crying, okay? So I love y'all to pieces.
I think you should translate some of your current music into Spanish. That will help you learn.
You know what?
Because you know what your music says
Right.
already. So translate it
That's a
into
good
Spanish.
idea. Yeah. That's what's up.
That's why I love y'all billionaires. That's why I love y'all. See, y'all already know. Y'all already helping me. I'm gonna definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna pick one of my songs that I'm working on right now. I'm working on like a little rock, like it's like rock and alternative song I'm working on right now. That's gonna be the one that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write that mug in Spanish. Thank you, Kelly Betty. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Kisses.
Hello.
Y'all
Bye.
is not gonna retrograde. Do y'all hear me? Like, listen, we different. We different than the rest of them. Everybody else scream and holler. We use it. It's the use. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.